for 10, 15 minutes, but he wouldn't do that either.
Yeah.
He said
Wait,
not
he
today.
wouldn't come on the flank?
I tried, bro. I tried.
All right, well, I want to bring Zinni in here. I want him to...
you have one more game to cover.
I know, we're going to cover it after this.
Let's talk about the Toronto game. And then we'll get
shit,
the next.
okay.
You want to
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the main event
Okay, great stuff.
of the evening.
Oh, the evening.
Wow,
Yo,
bro.
you might need to
Oh
take
my
these bombs
God.
out.
Bro, shut You're so
From
loud,
Fine
bro.
Island
Apologies,
in
people watching the audio
Abu
version.
Dhabi. Fighting out of the blue corner from Hometown, New Jersey, had a staggering, had a 5'8" with a chisel physique. Anthony
Gap.
Methodz Zinni.
Welcome to the flank, Zin.
In
Welcome
red
to the
corner,
flank.
Brother, my girlfriend
At
is
the
a
staggering
floor
height of
above me and can
5'7".
hear Zin through my headset.
I'm 5'8".
Upstairs.
Get it right, Zinni. Jeez.
What the fuck,
5'8",
bro?
with a full head of gray from
Yeah.
Columbus,
This-
Ohio.
Distinguished. I'm from New York, but I live in Columbus.
Jay Nassim.
All right.
Enthusiasm, fuck.
All right.
right,
Let's get right into it.
Okay. Wait, hold on. I don't want everybody to talk. Okay, listen. So I'm gonna tell you what I've heard, and I want to hear it from you.
Yeah.
Because
I'll listen and give
didn't
my
know,
opinion at the end.
Yeah. I didn't know I was being talked about at all. I started
Yeah.
receiving tweets.
I did kind of throw a dagger at you, to be fair.
Oh,
Okay,
he threw
okay.
a dagger
Okay,
at you, Zin.
hold on,
But go
hold on.
ahead, go ahead,
And-
go
and-
ahead.
and it doesn't make sense because just a couple weeks ago you were gassing me, blah blah. A bunch of teams
Yeah.
could use you. You're good at this game, blah
Yeah,
blah.
'cause
So it's a little weird.
Yeah, okay. I was doing you a favor, but go ahead.
Okay. So, wait, what? Okay. So then I hear that you said me and Wuskin in particular are
Yeah.
just slower players who are scared to make plays, and I
Yeah.
think Tom defended me, and you said I can do it in challengers, but I don't make plays at the pro level.
Yeah. So if you were to take let's say we take all main AR plays, right? We do a
Okay.
scatter plot, right? So we take all of the
this is
players
getting
on the
good.
y-axis.
Wait, are you
Well,
going
let
from
me
stage one?
explain
Hold
this.
on, wait, are you going from stage
It
one
doesn't. It
though,
doesn't
from
matter.
this year?
Pick any year.
Okay.
Pick any year.
Okay.
Right? We do y-axis kills per game.
Okay.
X-axis deaths per game.
Okay.
Right? So if you're in the top right-hand corner, you're very active, right? You're dying, but you're getting a lot of kills. The bottom left-hand corner, you're not getting a lot of kills and you're dying a lot. Then you'd
Okay.
be like probably like on the left side, depending on the game, you're either like in the middle or sort of in that top left quadrant. But my point to you, Zin, and my question to you is, when I look at stats from your past teams, right?
Okay.
So I go look at your stats from when you were on Rise. I look at your stats when you were on FaZe.
My
Look at your
Rise team
stats-
went on a 20-game win streak.
Yeah, you guys are nasty, but
Okay.
that's beside the point.
Okay.
I look at the stats from Toronto.
Okay.
How do you explain your engagement rates are so low relative to other main ARs in the league?
Hey, I've been going off this year because I mean I've said multiple times.
Pick any years, then. Pick any years.
Oh,
I mean,
shit.
I don't think that's indicative of someone's playmaking ability or whatever. I mean, I'm sure you can say the same thing for Lamar in World War II. His team went back
I
to
think
back.
Lamar is the same problem as you did. Don't get
So-
that stressed either.
So you're implying that I'm not a pro level player. Lamar's not a pro level player.
I'm not. I'm not saying that you're
No,
not
he never
pro
said
level
that.
players. In I'm saying
No,
that
he
your
never said
your play style is slower than a lot of other main ARs. That's my argument here.
Okay, and I would disagree, especially in this title. I will say with the M4, I was uncomfortable, and I've said it multiple times
Okay.
on the show. Stage 1, I was uncomfortable with that gun. If you compare it to the Krieg meta, Ben, let me tell you, I've had
Yeah.
a full team of the pro this year. I have a lot of pro friends.
Yeah.
In fact, the advice I get is to slow down my gameplay, because now everybody's saying I play too fast, I try making too many plays.
Okay.
So I'm confused. Like, are you going off the eye test, or are you strictly going off statistics on former games or stage 1 of this game?
I'm going off both because also, and I should preface this by saying for this argument, I watched you also play on our FaZe team. Now I think you got dropped kind of unfairly. That was sort of a shitty situation.
I mean, I've already said I wasn't necessarily very
I don't
present on that FaZe
I don't
team.
think you're the problem on that team.
Okay,
But
so
my point, Zen, is like when I watch you play, right?
yeah.
I don't think that you are as active. I wasn't saying that you were bad or terrible or not pro level. Those were not the words that came out of my mouth. I was saying that you were not as active as some other main ARs in terms of both from a statistical perspective. You look at your engagement numbers, your Slayer rating, your engagements per 10, right? So we actualize it out. I also want to guess you as well. Your S&D numbers were okay, but you were actually frying in S&D this year, Zen. I don't want to take that away from you. You're playing really well in S&D. But if you compare that to other main ARs in terms of respawn, you don't play as fast as some other main ARs. And Wuskin has the same problem.
In this game,
last
I did
year.
not. And I obviously can't go in depth onto why exactly I was benched. But one of the things was I was definitely playing a little too quick compared to what the team needed. That's why I think Insight's been working so well, because he's a lot slower of a player.
Wait, you're saying that you were playing quicker than what the team needed this year on your team?
Yeah. Well, not not like fucking like a sub, but like in certain situations where I should be playing discipline, I would try making a play or making a mistake in that area. But either way, last year, beginning of the year, I wasn't that great. This year, I wasn't that great with the M4. Krig meta is completely different. You can run with the gun. You can jump with the gun.
Yeah,
You can
it's an
actually
all-purpose
move
gun.
around. And now I heard you said I can make plays in challengers, but not at the pro level.
Yeah,
Is that true?
Well, from my perspective, Zen, from watching you play over the last couple of years,
Yeah.
the way I watch you play, I feel like you sometimes let your teammates take the harder gunfights and you follow them up. Whereas I watch other main ARs and they're willing to go ahead and sometimes make that aggressive chow. What is your thought on that statement that I just said?
I mean, it's indicative on the game and the team. It's like it's all subjective to actually what's going on in game. Like as a main AR, your main AR should theoretically probably be the slowest player on the team. That's sort of how the roles work. He should be the slowest player.
Let me step in real quick.
Here comes
Clayster
off the top ropes.
I think this is from a completely third-person perspective, and I am the fastest AR in the league. I'm up there with like David.
You by are the fastest AR in the league.
I'm by far, right? So I play super fast. But something that I noticed that some other ARs, and I'm not saying use in, but the fast or slow isn't what matters. What matters is in situations where you're in a deep spot from your teammates. You some ARs won't float towards their teammates where the pressure is coming from and start going towards their teammates. And I feel like you get stuck in that situation a lot where you're in the back and you don't start floating over, and then all your teammates die and people just see you sitting in the back and they're like, yeah, fucking slow AR. And it's literally not even a big deal. It's just you need to start moving towards your teammates faster. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where the whole perspective of slow AR comes from, is that a lot of AR players just sit in the back I got spawns, you know?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm just confused. If we're going off the past and certain titles, I'm sure I've been for example, I was slower in World War II than I was probably in any other year. But I mean, that's just indicative of the game and the
you guys also
I'm
had a
playing
very specific play style
and the way the maps are set up, and it's just I was doing my role.
Well, you guys also
this game, I've said I was uncomfortable with the M4, but I'm extremely quick with the Krig. Listen, I play Pro 8s, whatever, Challengers, shit. I'm not sure how you want to base it off of. I obviously don't scrim at the pro level anymore. The best practice I get at the pro level is legitimately playing Pro 8s, where I was receiving a bunch of, I don't know, props for frying in those. It's that's pretty much the only way I can show off my gameplay. And if we're talking about playmaking ability, I think I made more plays this year, in Search especially, than any other year prior. And
you were playing great in Search this year.
I was in. And then I won't defend myself for Stage 1 respawn. I wasn't good with the M4 compared to other players. Krig is completely different. And I'd argue that pretty much any single pro player that watches me or talks to me or gives me criticism, I have not heard once that you are too slow at all. Not once. Not this year.
Can I ask another question, Zen?
Go ahead.
So earlier, I don't know which episode it was. I think it was a week ago, or it might have been this week. You went on the show and said that you were an S-tier AR player. Do you remember that comment?
I personally believe so, yes. And I think if any AR player in the league doesn't think they're an S-tier player, they have a horrible mindset.
Okay, well, I totally understand the motivational approach here, but where would you rank yourself amongst all of the current main ARs in the league?
I actually want to challenge that opinion. I think that being real with yourself and understanding where you're at on the pecking order, you want to have confidence to be the best, but realizing you might be A or B and understanding your weaknesses and what you have to work on, I think that's super important, being a realist.
I mean, yeah, but I still think I'm an S-tier level AR. I played against the Octanes, the U's for my entire career. Never once have I played a main AR and
he didn't say formal.
Holy fuck! The formal whoever. I
just fucking around.
Trust me, I've said this many times. If I played against these players and I'm like, holy shit, I'm getting shit on. I'm not as good as him. I would walk away. Why would I waste my time trying to win a world championship if I didn't think I can compete with these people?
No, yes, to back up him too, if he said it a week ago, I kind of agree with him, because I think if you said it after Stage 1, after struggling so much with the M4, and you said, hey, I'm an S-tier player.
I was not an S-tier
Yeah,
AR.
okay, see, that's good. The fact that you realize that and you have that accountability in yourself to know that's good. But I think I've been watching your stream every night. I do watch you a lot, and I see that you are frying with the Krig, actually dropping 6k, 7k damage a lot. And you saying you're an S-tier player, is good self-confidence, but I think Ben, if it would have been a little delusional if you said it after Stage 1, saying even though I'm not performing with the XM4, I'm still S-tier player, blah 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 blah. But him having that confidence himself, because to give Zin credit, he has been frying. So I mean, if I was frying with him the way he has been in challenges and stuff, I'd be hey, I deserve to be in the league, and I think he does too.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a fair perspective from from all three of you here, which is players need to figure out how to self-motivate themselves. So there are going to be different methods to do it. Some players like that confidence aspect. Some players like the more self-reflective method. I think this is actually a very interesting debate for the topic.
You can mix both.
Wait, hold on.
too.
Wait,
Yeah,
wait,
you
hold
know?
on. Wait,
No,
hold on.
yeah.
I
Yeah, go
think
ahead,
I'm
Zen.
STIR, but that does not mean I'm a perfect player or I don't slack in certain areas and I can't improve.
I
Like,
think
for example,
you should be in
I'm
the
still
league,
not
dude.
as I'm
Like, you're
still
better
not as,
than at least 4 ARs in the league.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean,
I made a list.
Bantha-
You're definitely better than. I agree with that statement of Clay. I think I could definitely name 4 ARs. That you're
I
better
also
than
think
in the
just
league.
to add in, because Zinni's kind of 1v3 in here, 1v2. I don't know whatever you want to call it.
1v2 Ives back. I have Zin's back. Come on.
I think
Clay's not even saying anything.
I'm just fucking around.
Zinni knows my opinions based off past games, but I've talked to Zinni a little bit, just watching him throughout the last couple of months. I think you're very good at this game, Zin. I like the way you play this
Well, I
game.
mean, listen, I think I should actually be slower because there's times where I'm like putting SMG positions and I'm putting my SMGs in AR positions. Like, for example, it would happen earlier where I'm telling my SMGs to block off spawn and then me hitting plane on checkmate P1, for example. Like, I'm just getting too aggressive looking for kills sometimes, and that's a criticism I have of myself. But it's like Ben is essentially fueling a stigma that isn't true at this current time. I will agree that I was slow at certain times, and the issue is here, Ben, I personally don't really care. If you were to tell me one-on-one your opinion, I'd be like, I respect your opinion, blah, blah, blah. But, like, your show has become impressionable, and what you say is now taken by organizations, players,
Well, they
managers
shouldn't, because
as
everyone
fact.
on this show is fucking stupid.
Yeah, I mean,
Jesus.
Wait, what the
fuck?
What the fuck?
Hold on. I have a couple comments on that, Zen. I
That's
totally
bullshit.
understand. I totally understand
No,
your
it's not
perspective.
your fault. It's not your
You know,
fault. I'm not
listen,
saying
listen.
don't make those takes. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying.
So a couple of things. One is I probably shouldn't have thrown a dagger at you. I'll admit. But to your comment about the org side, orgs should be making their own informed decisions on the player personnel. They should not be relying on public sentiment, on Reddit, on what's said on this show,
That's
on
not reality, though. You're right,
on
though.
live man player
That's
cards. to make
literally not
decisions about-
reality.
Well,
you are 100% correct.
There's
I-
not enough good
I-
GMs in the league right
I
now.
can name
Then
multiple
I don't know
organizations.
what some of these teams are doing then.
I've said it before. Last year, an organization had a roster. That roster was leaked on Reddit. They didn't pick up that roster because of the public outrage of
But hold on,
said
that
roster.
roster was also not that good. Let's be
It
let's
doesn't-
be candid
it-
about that
doesn't
situation as
matter.
well.
It's just an example, but like
Yeah.
I've
it's a
heard
great example.
I've heard
Yeah.
players say their managers, their owners, whoever, watch the flank, and what about this opinion? It's like I'm
Damn,
not
we're
saying don't
big
take,
time Ben.
I'm not saying don't make your opinions and whatever, but at least like
Dude,
Ben, I would argue
people-
that you have
people-
not watched enough of me.
Yeah, no, people.
After
I
stage
totally
one,
understand this. Go ahead.
to make
Clay.
to take an accurate
Yeah.
opinion on my current gameplay right now, and then to discredit it and say I can do it versus challengers. It's like I have no other choice. I either do it in challengers or I do it nowhere. So if like I don't know, like what do you want me to do? I play Pro 8s, I play challengers. Where can I prove I'm a pro level player besides those areas?
I mean, I'm
Listen,
gonna be honest
I-
with you, though, Zin. You gotten a lot of gas on this show.
Yeah.
At least for me, for sure.
Dude, the thing about it is this show it does create narratives, man. Like when all the stuff, when we were deciding if we wanted to bring in Paco and if we wanted to use Con or wanted to use Mac or how our team was going to look, like we were figuring stuff out internally, and then we had people on here being like, it's a 2-person change, and then all this stuff happened, and all this hubbub and this drama, and everything went down, and we're just sitting there like, we like don't even know who's starting like out of these 3 players. We don't even know what the like. What do you, like people just created these crazy narratives and created a crazy backstory to all these just things that were said like anecdotally that don't have any factual basis, and then there was a million Reddit threads and a million tweets and all this and that and the other, and it's like we're sitting over here in New York camp like, bro, is Con starting or is Max starting? Like, you know what I'm saying? And people are like,
Oh, you're talking about the sip shit. Wait,
Bro,
hold on,
like,
man.
but
You're talking about the sip
that's-
shit?
That's the influence that this show has.
No, but
bro.
we didn't, bro. CDL Intel came out with the sip shit when we were live with the flank,
Yeah,
and
we
we were
react-
fucking
react
mind blown.
on
We were
live.
like, wait, what? Like, I was
Hold on,
confused.
let's not-
And
like-
can I finish my point though on this? Like,
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah,
totally
I'll
understand your
Go ahead, go ahead.
perspective, Clay.
Yeah, I'm not done
like,
yet. Oh, sorry,
I understand. Like Tommy and I. I'll say this: like Tommy and I had no idea the show was going to come as big as it did as fast, and we really appreciate everybody that tunes in every day that we're live for the show.
Wait, fuck,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
I don't give a
Oh,
fuck.
let me finish my point. Let me
Fuck
finish my
it.
point.
Who gives a fuck?
I'm
Who
guessing.
cares?
Let me do the thing. Right?
Go ahead.
So I appreciate.
Because I'm about to go
everybody's
fucking rogue. So
But
answer
here's
this right.
Here's what I would say. Right, you guys are playing for a lot of money. These player decisions, team personnel decisions, have serious repercussions. And my advice to teams is, you will learn very quickly that public sentiment, this show, Reddit is going to fluctuate a lot faster than the reality and the gravity of your team should. And you should try and avoid being on that wave. You
Please let me
should
go.
lean on your own coaching staff, on your players, on your front office personnel to be making those decisions. If there's other outside advice you're getting, great. Those advisors are helpful too. But this show and what people say on Reddit should not be necessarily driving 99.9% of the decisions you make around your team.
100%.
And
That's what I was gonna
No.
say. And just to add on to what Ben was saying, if your GM is just listening to what we're saying on the show and making decisions based off Reddit and what we're saying on the show without putting his own mindset into it
Yeah.
and without doing his own research, he's an idiot and should be fired immediately.
Or you can hire me
Immediately.
and Tom.
Huh?
You can hire us.
You could fucking hire me as a GM. I'd build a championship team. For sure.
Tom, list off the players
I
that you
just
created.
realized what shirt you have on, Ben. That's dope.
Yeah.
No, listen.
It's a typical shirt.
Yeah,
Listen,
fuck the other dudes,
I've
you know what I'm
created
saying?
some powerhouse teams, man.
Powerhouse
a story.
players,
That's a
Tom.
story
You
for another
created
show, Clay.
Priesta, Celia,
Listen,
Max.
and we would have had an even more of a powerhouse team on FaZe if we got a Beezy, but Ben really shut that one down, didn't you, Ben?
Yeah,
with
man.
us,
I straight yoinked
okay.
him from you
No,
guys.
you didn't
yo.
yoink him. Ben just let him go. He tossed him to
Oh,
you.
this is my
They
fault.
said
okay.
FaZe didn't want to pay $50K to E6, so I was like, Burns, you
Yeah.
better pony
Give
it up,
me a
baby. 50K,
break,
come on,
bro.
Because
let's go.
I have the FaZe
Hold
credit
on, I'm
card,
not
Tom.
done
I
with
could
Ben
just
yet.
spend-
I'm not done with Ben
All
yet.
right,
Oh,
then he's
shit.
not
Okay,
done.
we're not
Carry
done,
on,
we're not
then.
done.
First off, okay, listen. I want to say, Ben, the show's
We're going to
getting
talk
to
about
your
the
fucking
Toronto
head.
series. Go ahead.
Hold on.
Ooh,
Ben, the show's
Ben's
getting to your head. I
ooh.
poked Ben. I said, because
Yeah.
I was trying to go. So hold on. I was trying to go live, and I hear
Yeah.
that Ben has a new rule.
Yeah,
Players
I
that,
do have a new rule.
people that are live are not allowed to come on the flank.
Yeah, that's correct.
That's a good rule. I like
That's a
that
good rule, though.
Yeah.
No,
so
that's a
here's,
good
here's,
rule.
Here's my, here's
What?
my
Well, people are using it for
Can I finish?
Tommy
Okay.
told me a week ago I could have my.
Yeah,
stream. I
because
didn't
you
give a
asked me
fuck.
nicely. I didn't care.
So here's the deal, Zen.
I didn't
So
care if you asked
Asim
me.
could back me up because he was here when I made this rule. You are the exception to this because you come on here, you hang out, you and Tommy duo cast. The fans love it. The community love it. I don't want to name names, but people have come on the show. They come into this room. Their stream is on. They don't talk much, but they're getting viewers in their chat. And look, everybody's got to grind and hustle.
It's
But
not
if you're
that
gonna
big
come
of a
on
deal,
here
Ben.
and not be active,
Ben, it's not that big
and have
of a
your
deal.
stream on and take our views, I'm not a super fan of that.
I'm
So,
gonna
so
be.
Ben, Ben doesn't want the community to grow, huh?
Listen,
Ben's just
listen,
a
listen,
selfish
listen,
influencer,
listen,
huh?
I want us
Listen,
to go
first of
back.
all,
Ben's just a selfish
everybody
influencer.
quiet down. Everybody quiet down, cause one, I created this fucking thing.
No, I was gonna say.
So let
Tommy,
me
yeah,
let me
good shit,
put my
Tom.
fucking input on this. One, I made the fucking thing, so what I say goes.
Yep, facts.
For one.
Okay,
Two,
so can I stream, Tommy?
Two, if you guys come to me and ask me, can I stream during the show? It's no problem. Go ahead, turn the
No
stream on.
problem.
I don't give a fuck. Now, if you come in here seeking attention with your stream on, trying to just get people to come to your stream, that's a whole different story. Now I'm like, okay, come on, like show a little bit of respect. But there's no problem, guy. I want to see everybody grow. Zinni, when you asked me the other week, can I come on with stream? What did I say to you?
No, you said yeah. No, listen.
I said it's no problem. Everybody eats. Everybody
All I'm
eats.
saying, I mean, here's the thing. Like, I don't turn my stream on. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna stream the fucking flank today. I'll join the flank late with my stream already on, because if I don't turn on early, I'm getting 3 hours in, because you guys go late sometimes. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's not
Yeah.
like a holy fuck. Let me use the flank to grow my numbers. It's like, well, I need to stream, but I also
Yeah.
want to be on the flank. It's not anything to do with.
It
Yeah,
doesn't-
and you come on here and you duo cast with Tom. Like you guys have a good back and forth. This rule is not necessarily about you, Zen. You were
It doesn't
not
matter.
always in mind for this.
No,
decision.
Zen,
Wait,
you were
I
definitely
poked
the
Ben-
ex-
okay, I'm not done.
Yeah.
I poked Ben
There's
Jackie.
more.
I
Yeah.
poked Ben
So
Jackie
ass.
for that reason, because I didn't want to go live before, but
Yeah.
and he was like, "It's not your show." I'm like, "Okay, Ben, I know it's not your show." And then
Hey, you're saying drag me.
then
Like, we
his
get to
friend-
decide when he come on.
and then his friends are telling me he's walking around saying he has a clout now.
Yeah, I do have clout.
Ooh.
Ah,
Where-
Ben.
where-
damn.
where- where
How
did you
big?
have this,
How
headset
much has
from,
your
you know?
penis grown, bro?
Outside.
I mean, he almost Clay. He almost showed his penis on a live stream the other week.
Well,
I mean,
well,
maybe
well,
that's what he was trying to do. Show his.
He almost plopped it on the table. He literally almost plopped it on the table. I'm
I
not
mean,
even
he
joking.
just wanted to show everyone the
Yeah.
great
Hold
Hold on,
massive cojones that he
I want to
has.
finish what I was saying too. Like with Zin, like I think Zim definitely deserves to be the exception, because I remember when he first came on the show like 3 weeks
Yeah.
ago, for like 2 weeks straight, he kept saying that without respect of the flank, I'm not going to be streaming while the flank is going on, because I want all the viewers to show and showcase like Tom's podcast.
Yeah.
But like I definitely agree. Like Zinni's been on the show like every night, for the past like 3 weeks, and he definitely deserves to stream when he wants. And that's a great point too, Zin. The fact that like
I'm a big fan of Asim, man. Can we go waste him in the chat?
Zin, the
Yo,
fact that you've been in here every night for multiple hours and you're not streaming, like I definitely agree that you need to turn your stream on too.
We also would love to see Tommy.
I'm 21 now.
Coast read some games, man. I think that's what the fans will want.
That's just not gonna happen because I mean, to be fair, I don't even blame him. The show's on YouTube, and it wouldn't make sense to let me and Tom stay on Twitch. And anyway, so to go back to defend myself for one last time, also
YouTube.
Wuskin got astray as well, so it wasn't just me. I think
this definitely applies to Brad as well. And if Brad wants to come on the show and talk about it, I'm down to dig into it with him. So
I would argue that me and Brad have some pretty different play styles, but
you do.
I mean, MW, he's sniper, snow sniper. It's like, I don't know. I'm not going to go on about him. But also, I will say, I truly think I'm one of the top ARs in this game, and you can disagree. I'm confident in myself. A lot of my friends and pros and coaches who watch me give me good criticism. Like, your comms have been really good. You're frying. And it's like, the truth is, I still have bad tendencies because I'm playing 8s and challengers all day, and I'm playing with a new team every week. I'm playing host wars. It's like, it's very hard to like.
Do you know what it really is, though, Zin? It's like you just can't shoot straight.
Not
like,
criticism, sorry.
But think about it, bro. It's like an F1 spot, right? There's only so many. You go through the ARs in the league. There are 6 ARs in the league that are quote unquote undroppable that you're not getting rid of, right?
Agreed.
So you're competing for realistically
$6,
probably 5 or even 4 spots, dude.
Let me take this a step further, Clay. Let's take this a step further. Tom Gravity has been like on the top AM team for like 2 years. I know we bring up his name a lot, but literally like all of his teammates have been called up to the league except for him over the last couple of years because it's so hard to replace someone in the mini-AR spot.
I think also slow.
I think he's a good kid, but you have to have some kind of flashiness with an AR to even get noticed. That's why Skies came up. That's why Wake came up. And then now you have the next highly touted AR. Like, and we're not even talking about Major Maniac, who came up in BO4 and stuff. Is probably Civ, and that's because he's flashy with it. And most main ARs aren't flashy; they're just consistent. Like even the ARs in the league now aren't flashy; they're just consistent. But to get noticed, you have to be flashy as fuck.
No, it's not even that. It's just like. Listen, there's obviously different things too. Like to speak on Tom, like some of his former teammates who are pros or very close to pros have opinions too, and people listen to things like that. Tom is solid, but Ben, if you're saying that I'm a slow non-playmaker, you have to say the same thing about Tom.
I would say about Tom that it is hard to judge Tom outside of challengers. When I watch him play challengers, his KD when he's played has been very good. His activity has been decent, if not average for ARs, if you compare and look at the elite stats from this year. The problem with Tom is I would love to have his comparisons in, but like he's never been called up by a pro team. He's never gotten a shot.
Listen,
he's been the gateway amateur for so long, bro. He's been like the gateway, like the Andy Dalton effect, where it's like he's the determining factor whether you're an AM or you're a pro. Like he's right there and he doesn't get called up, and it's like a lot of that has to do. Like I think he's good. Like he's it's serviceable as an AR and a good kid, but the pro sentiment on players grows, and the longer they're not a pro, the less likely they are to become a pro, as shitty as that sounds. Like, it should be opposite, but, like, the longer you've been in the AM scene, the less likely you are to get picked up because pros form opinions on you.
I mean, hold on.
That's a big point.
Tom,
I don't think people understand how a lot of that stuff works.
Like, I wasn't trying to drag Tom. I'm saying, like, the play styles, like, Tom is not like a super aggro playmaking AR, and honestly, a lot of ARs aren't. What I'm saying, first off, we need more spots to play. You're talking about F1 spots. We simply need more seats. I'm confident that Tom would be a main AR in the league if there were 16 teams.
Agreed. Yep.
And then you also have, I mean, listen, you have certain players and certain teams protecting certain people, and that's just the way it's going to be at this current time. So there's a whole fucking multitude of reasons. But all I'm saying is, you pretty much threw a stray at me out of nowhere, based off, I don't know, engagements and my stage 1 play.
Ben's just a community hater, and he loves kicking people while they're down. So.
No, listen, to defend Ben, defend Ben a little bit. One thing I love about Ben, and sure, he might be getting a little bit of a hothead now, but who gives a fuck? Because I love it. I think I fucking love it.
Sometimes you gotta pull from the logo.
I think it's good.
I'm kidding.
I think it's good though that obviously there's me who's been one of the best to ever do it, right? And then you
Okay,
got
yeah.
and then you got
Ever,
Ben.
ever, all
Ever.
time.
Ever.
Tommy. All
And then
time.
you got
Top
Ben.
5 SMG.
Yeah. And then you got Ben, who's like, he never played professionally, so he's giving his opinions from the outside looking in, but he's also been around it all, which is why I feel like he's a good person to bring onto the show. Because Ben, you're a smart guy, right?
Yeah.
You're a smart guy.
Well,
I think we all
people-
can agree that Ben's a pretty smart guy.
Tom,
And-
we don't. A lot of people
What?
don't know this, but like I got my start in esports in 2 ways. One
You're a
is
Clayster's mod.
I came up as one of Clay's mods. And then the second thing is I worked for Optic Intel back in the day. Shout out Hitch. And, starting with that, got involved with team management. And I just, I've tried to bring that perspective. I think a lot of people that watch the show, a lot of fans, there's certain things that are opaque to them about how it works behind the
Not
scenes.
that mod.
Oh.
Yeah, I was not.
The Frank might not know about that, man.
Oh my
Have a good day. Have a good day.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have to get into all of that, Clay, if you don't want to.
No, we don't need to get into that. Yeah, we don't need to get into that.
Wow.
That's a story for another day.
Yeah. That's
Maybe
definitely
not
a story
ever.
for
Maybe not
let's-
ever.
Listen, let's keep it for another day. But that was funny as fuck.
We don't talk about this Toronto series.
That was funny as
though?
fuck. Yeah,
Like,
real
what
quick,
team?
because you said shout out Hitch. I just want to give a shout out to him real quick because he just tweeted
Yeah,
out.
shout Davis.
He said the flank brings back the W ramp vibes. What is that? W
The
ramp
ramp,
vibe?
dude, that
Yeah.
was Diesel back in the day.
Uh-huh.
AOX Diesel. He ran a talk show every week. The weekly
Yeah.
ran on Wednesdays, and it was like this. And it was
That
back
guy's
in the
name was
day.
Jared, right? That was that guy?
Jared
Jasket or Gasket. I still follow him on
That's-
Twitter, bro.
Yeah.
That's dope.
We talk every now and again, bro. So like he was an OG here. Tommy, I'm putting in the team speak. This is the guy, Diesel. He's the one who ran it. He's a COD OG. Not many people
Yeah.
know about him. Pull his Twitter up on stream, bro. That was one of the OG talk shows,
Right
and it was
here,
like
guys,
this,
take a
but
look.
way more toxic, bro.
Oh, way more toxic?
Way more toxic.
Oh, wow, interesting. Cute baby, too. But you guys could go check him out,
Yeah.
man. Go check him out. Go check
He's a
out-
dad now and stuff.
On the Davis front, I want to shout out a few people though, because a lot of people don't know about Optic Intel back in the day. Because there was a lot of people working behind the scenes, but in particular, I want to shout out Aaron Create, who did a lot of graphics work. Osbo, who's not super involved in the scene anymore, but he was a lot of glue. And my friend Alex, the Common Masses, who helped me run. She recruited me there, but we ran a Twitter account together for a minute. It was a super fun time, and it was my first start in esports. And then Davis ditched me when he went to
Is
Optic,
Osbo
and that was
like a
RIP.
That's crazy. Hitch said that Ben was mine first. Know that. That's
Davis
crazy.
used to
We're
resp-
fighting for you,
Davis-
Ben.
Wait, Davis used to respond to my text, and now he doesn't. So
Damn.
This guy loves exposing everyone
Yeah,
on the
why
show.
do you always do that? Why you
Yo,
expose him on the
Tomas,
show,
this guy's
though?
got an ego
That's
now.
No,
Oh
he's
my
got an
God.
ego. He's got an ego, bro.
sorry.
This guy's got an ego. Holy
Yo, he's
shit.
got an
Sorry,
ego.
Davis. My bad.
Yo, but shout out to Davis because I hit him up to come on the show, and he said he'll definitely be down to come on. in the future, bro.
We definitely need to get Davis on the show,
definitely
bro.
gotta get
We'd
him on
love
the
to.
show. Definitely gotta
Yeah.
get him on the
He
show.
said new number. He said new number.
But yo,
Damn, bro. Well, that's
but
another
yo,
story.
come on, let's keep it going, man, because we got a whole other series to talk about.
Oh, no.
Which, guys, Clay, you can stick around for this one because your old team is looking like a fucking mess. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I gotta get synced. I need to watch stream whatever you're doing, bro, because this
No,
reacting late shit.
we
is-
tried, but Tommy's got some issues with watching.
Yeah, just
together.
watch on the
You
stream, bro. It's like a
you
5-second
can't- you-
delay, Clay.
You can't have multiple people in watch stream. Like,
We
Alright.
can, but it doesn't. It's super laggy for him.
Listen, I'll be back in a bit. I'm gonna mute out, and then I'll come bring you my expertise and analysis. Fuck Ben. I'm gonna eat real quick.
Hey, Clay, I got a
Wait,
question
Ben.
for you.
Ben, just know it's noted.
No,
Okay.
Just do what you gotta do. Real quick, I want to give a huge shout out to everybody in the stream. We have reached 11,000 viewers today in today's show, which is
dude, we're
absolutely
hitting levels.
yes,
unreal,
Sim, we just
guys.
bring so much to the show, dude. It's unreal.
Yeah, you guys
I
do.
know.
You guys do. I
Yeah,
love
I
when you
know.
come on.
I mean,
let-
come on. People. Tommy has obviously said it too. Like, I'm one of the most vibey. But I got a question for Clay. Okay. Clay, so I know you told us before going into this match, like with this new Dallas team, like a lot of people have a lot of words about it, and I know you have an opinion on Fellow. So, like, how do you think that this team is going to do with Fellow being on the second AR?
Dude, I think that to say that they look bad or they got smoked like you just did, Tommy, is insane. They looked really good. Look at how, dude, they're winning this game by 100 points. Like,